away by a rash of trees, and the wall from nearby Backford Hall stands the ancient church of St Oswald's, believed to have been here since at least the 13th century. Unfortunately today, very little of the old church remains apart from the chancel and the tower. The rest is the result of rebuilding during the 18th and 19th centuries. The first vicar here at St Oswald's was William de Aston, who took up his post in 1305. However, he was followed in 1349 by Henry de Moulton. There's nothing more wonderful than country churches and churchyards, and I for one fell in love with them. Each churchyard is different, and every churchyard tells a different story. However, they all have one thing in common, and that's our local history. A Norman church was believed to have stood on this site, built by the lords of the manor in the 12th century. However, today, all that remains of that church is a Norman doorway, reconstructed in the 19th century. It's the church tower, built in the late 14th century, that saw an horrific event on Christmas Eve 1643, when there was a massacre carried out by the Royalist troops during the English Civil War. The earliest rector recorded here was Robert de Chezoul, and he preached here between 1303 and 1315. However, much of the church that we see today was rebuilt in the 15th century. Standing between two mounds and placed in great isolation stands a church dedicated to Edith of Polesworth, who was once the sister of one Edward the Elder. Now this church can be found down a winding, lonely country lane, and that only adds to its isolation, but it was built by the lord of the manor to accompany his castle in 1150 AD and to serve the people of the village. In the 17th century, St Edith's was to become the burial place for victims of the plague of 1625. The church records include many entries about the burials of such people, but two stand out in particular. Well, what a sad and tragic account of the passing of both John and Elizabeth Handley at such a young age, taken by the plague of 1625. However, their memories will live on for many centuries to come. Here in Nether Alderley stands the beautiful church, the ancient church of St Mary's. However, dating back to the 14th century, most of the medieval fabric has long since gone. In the Domesday Book of 1086, the name of Alderedi is mentioned, that being the town known as Alderley. Also in other documents dated to Edward III, they also mention Alderley too. Now, there have been many events recorded at this ancient church in the past, and one notably in the 18th century when the church wardens and the vicar were to fall out and ancient documents were destroyed. One member of the clergy was heard to mutter it was a really sorry state of affairs. In 1598, a member of the Stanley family wrote that on the 24th of February, known as Matthias Day, that his chapel was cut down at night. A huge row was to erupt between himself and Sir Edward Fitton of nearby Galsworth. Indeed, he stated that this man had a reputation and truly deserved the name of a fighting Fitton.